Welcome back to Estate Agency Mastery, Season 4, Episode 3 with Kate, the agent. Kate, this is all about you and habits or things that you do to protect your mindfulness, to stay in positivity. And you talked on the last season a lot about energy, which I talk about a lot. I think I recently turned 40 and it's a big focus of mine and the state you show up in. So in order to perform at the level you do and put the amount of content out that you do, how do you protect your operating system, right? What is it? Is it sleep? Is it fitness? Is it date night? Is it kit? What is it that specifically you do that when she was like, oh, people might find this odd, but then delivered a load of gold, right? So what do you do to protect you?
Oh God, I wish it was sleep, exercise, date night.
No one said date night so far, by the way.
And maybe that's how you protect your energy. But I think, how do I protect my energy? I get in my head a lot.
Yep.
And I have to sort of self-soothe, I guess, is the way, maybe. I have no routine particularly. I'm not a particularly routine-led person with discipline, only simply because what I seem to have created, the stuff's coming at me constantly. I've had to learn to pace myself and learn to say no.
That's a big one that's come up.
I've had to learn to say no. It's probably the best piece of advice I ever had building my business.
Give me a practicality of when saying no's work for you.
So seeing as I operate alone, I have an assistant that I have to be very wary of the properties and clients that I choose to align with, that I have to work at a sort of threshold value, because the amount of work that goes into selling properties under a certain value, particularly in the areas that I work, it doesn't quite marry up for me. And also just, I get a lot of people who send me, I have to ask for photos of people's homes as well now. And that's not that I'm, saying your home's not good enough for me. It's that with content creation and the kind of brand that I've created, there is an expectation of a certain style of property that will work. And people who contact me and say, it's not quite like that, but, I'd really appreciate if you could look at some photos and let me know. And then I have to say, I thank you so much. It won't work for me, but, do contact these people. So also to collaborate's really, really important. So I don't end my day feeling like I've, been a right old cow and said, I'm so sorry, your house isn't good enough for me. But I've said, it just doesn't work for what I do. But here's these guys and they're excellent and they're lovely. And, collaboration is really, really important for mindset and energy as well.
So where have you fallen foul of that before in terms of not saying no? Just taking on anything that didn't suit your brand? Or...
I think in the early stages of business, that panic of,
at least get some cash.
well, just grow. I'd come from a business development role, and I've had to learn to sort of untangle myself from that, in that not everything is right for me. Whereas in the estate, in the corporate or high street estate agency world, it's about market share. It doesn't matter, just take it on. And I've had to learn to, rewind that mindset for sure. But also you have to have a very clear vision of what you want people to think of you and your brand, and really, really stay. That's probably the only discipline I do have, is just to stay in that lane and hope for the best, basically.
Okay. Nice. So saying no, yeah, I'm a huge advocate of saying no, and I think it's Branson that goes on about it quite a bit. What do you do to switch off?
I never switch off. It's a problem, but I don't know if there's... I feel like to be very successful, there is that part of you that is a bit of a workaholic. I know, I'm fine with it. Yesterday I was on a flight home from our half-term holiday, and I had a flight mode for 2 hours where I couldn't look at WhatsApps and emails and Instagram. And I should have listen to a downloaded podcast, maybe this one, for 2 hours. But I spent that 2 hours tidying up my WhatsApps to enable myself to go into my next working day with a sort of clearer head. I don't know, everyone, each to their own. Maybe I'll go for a run if I've got time, but navigating being a mum, having 2 young, very, very, very energetic kids, and
but just on that, I guess that's, in a way, as I'm listening to this, I'm thinking, whilst you might not have something, you say I don't have a routine, I think showing up as a parent means you have to switch off from everything else, right? Not all the time, and that are blurry lines, but you say you're away for half term, and I find for me, and count on me if this isn't the same for you, that when I show up as a dad, my phone has to go away and I have to be present because I found myself, certainly when my firstborn was around, I was on my phone and I was missing stuff, right? And then I'd be on my phone just probably looking at your Instagram, not not actually being present for the important moments. Whereas now, the biggest gift that my kids have given me is being, when I'm with them, I'm fully on. Do you find the same or not?
look, I'm not going to say I'm perfect, because I am obsessed with my work and definitely a workaholic. The lines blur regularly for me because I feel such a massive sense of responsibility to be there for my work and this sort of ever growing thing that I'm creating, which is amazing. But I've definitely come into this year with a much clearer mindset. I can't carry on the way I was going. I need to invest into my business. I need to invest in more sort of hands on deck just to help, and there's stuff that I'm putting into place that will allow me to have more defined boundaries between my home life and my work life. But some of the most successful entrepreneurs will tell you that it's extremely hard to find those boundaries. And also, you shouldn't beat yourself up. I'm the mum at the school gates that's forgetting everything, that has to ask the teachers on that day, is there something today or is there something tomorrow? Can you stick a post-it note to my head? My Google Mail has 42,000 unread emails. I don't respond to personal WhatsApps. Like I sometimes just forget to respond. I am the absent mum in the mum group chats for school. I've had to learn to just accept that that's who I am, because I've spent a long time comparing myself, whereas I won't compare myself in the work sphere. But when I'm a parent, I will compare myself to these other parents who seem to be so on it. And so, life seems so clean and balanced. And, she's a lawyer and he's a surgeon, yet here they are and they haven't forgotten World Book Day. But you know what? My kids are happy. And we're great, and I'm not the only other parent out there that has 42,000 unread Google Mail emails.
That gave me a bit of anxiety. But listen, I had to take a PE kit in yesterday because I forgot it in the morning, and it was right there. So I get that. I think when you share a pursuit of wanting to grow something and you're that passionate about it, which I like, if you could bottle it, right, then you are going to be out of kilter during that
Definitely.
growth stage. And I think what you've said there is making peace with it's okay.
It's totally okay, because ultimately, on the flip side of this, my husband has his own company as well, and our children are growing up watching both of their parents work for themselves and create a world for us. There's a lot to be said about that, I hope.
I think it's the best education you can give your children.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that, what growing up with one parent that's working and one parent that's at home, because being at home as a parent itself is a full-time job. But there are lots of balls in the air constantly, and I am not a professional juggler, and the balls will drop, the plates will smash, but it's okay, because worse things can happen. And if I need to ask the teachers, like I've definitely what's the word, like worked on giving myself a little bit of a reputation with the teachers at school as being the unreliable mum. But that's okay now, because now the pressure's off. Like I've worked on it. They know. They're like, okay, there's a school trip tomorrow. I'm like, thanks so much. Like,
where is it again? Yeah, what do I need?
What are they doing? Is there a packed lunch?
Yeah, that's a scary one, isn't it? Is there a packed lunch? And
Oh yeah, I remember
getting a
that like
meal deal on the
5
way in.
minutes until they
Yeah.
leave the door. I'm like, oh, I know.
Last few from me. What should you be doing that you're not?
Oh God, what should I be doing that I'm not doing? I should be reading my emails, clearing my emails, probably using some kind of app or platform that I have no desire to upload that can clear my emails for me. Um, no, on a serious note, what should I be doing more? I should be carving out time in my week and my schedules to look after myself more, because I think that I I could keep working until burnout very easily, and then rinse and repeat, keep going. Um, Again, I'm not ashamed of it. It's just how I'm built. My sister and my brother are the same. My sister um, has her own hair salon, and she moved to Shrewsbury and started all over again with a hair salon. And she's like, this time, I am not going to work until 10 p.m. every single night. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to have a great life.
Same
Now
thing.
she's working till 10 p.m. every single night, 6 days a week. There's something within us as siblings that we just work, and we love working. Like I love working. So yeah, I could be better at looking after myself.
If you did have to leave here and time block to go and look after yourself, what would you do during that time?
I like running. Running is great for my brain. I pay a gym membership that I don't use. It's annoying because I'm like, oh, I should go for a run in the morning, but then because I'm doing so much on camera and I'm filming all the time, and then got to like factor in washing my hair, styling my
I do
hair,
always
putting
think
my
that with
makeup on.
ladies, right? It's tough. Yeah.
There's only so much dry shampoo can do for your hair, let me tell you. Um, running is definitely my headspace, like with some like house music and
Nice.
go.
It's a bit of me now. I'm seeing Judge Jules on Thursday, so very
Amazing.
much looking forward to it. The Ollie talked a lot in his podcast, Oliver Howard, on this about booking in an event so that you have no excuse and you have to time block that time for downtime. So he's got an Ironman coming up. Would that be useful for you if you were to book something in, or would you
No,
just no, fine?
tried it.
It's not worked.
Tried it. I have an extraordinary capability of just saying yes to a lot of things, which goes back to say no is good for you. But this is a growing business.
You've got to be at the coalface.
You've got to be present for it, and that's sometimes to the detriment of any sort of free downtime. That's the harsh reality of going out on your own.
Yeah.
The 9 till 6 or 9 till 7 or 8 if you were unfortunate to work at the yellow and green one. But you have to go into it eyes wide open. You will work harder than you have ever worked before, but the rewards will be so much greater than you could ever imagine. But you've got to be on board with that, because this isn't it's no sort of easy breezy, I'll just turn up when I want to turn up.
And I see that a lot where people go, oh, I drop my kids off now and I get to, and I'm like, you're a business owner, but if you took the Kiyosaki quadrant, you're not, like, you haven't earned the right to call yourself a business owner yet. You're just employed for yourself. That's what self-employment is. And okay, if you want to do the school runs and everything, you need to be playing all out. And every guest we've had on has gone, if I'm there for my kids and I'm present, when I'm not with my kids, I'm then working till 9, 10, 11, whatever that
Yeah.
looks like. And I don't think people see that all the time. They think, oh, it'd be easier. I'd only need to sell 5 to replace my income. And it's like, yeah, but to get 5, that's maybe 10 instructions just to make sure they do, which is maybe 15, 20 vowels, which is maybe lead generating for 4 hours a day and people just don't see it, and it doesn't stop.
No, and it goes across businesses as well. It's not just
Yeah.
a state agency. Any person who chooses to work for themselves, create their own brands, create their own companies, has to commit. And the failure to commit in the early stages of the business is what will effectively make or break it.
100%.
Because the foundations, it can take a decade to find yourself in a position where you've built strong enough foundations for you, just you, to take your foot off the gas slightly whilst you've built this operational side of it that's still working efficiently. and still building. But, it's no mean feat
It's not.
working for yourself,
It's
but
not.
it's 100% worth it.
100%. Right.
100% worth it.
Last question for me, Kate. If you were your own coach, looking down on you and your business, what's one piece of advice you'd give to yourself right now?
One piece of advice I would give to myself right now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Even this, don't put off the small things. I'm like anyone else, a little bit of procrastination, like tinkled around very much reactive, because I've built a world where it's all coming at me, which is absolutely fantastic. But there are all these little tasks around the outside that are like, I'll be like, I'll just do it tomorrow. Like, I've got to write press release myself. I'll just do it tomorrow. No. Do it. Do it today.
I'm huge. 2026, that's my mantra. So,
well, it's year of the horse. So.
Yeah, the horse, right? But for me, my business partner Kenny's like urgency, intensity. There we go, and collaboration. And it's that urgency. I've been like, I can't just do it tomorrow. When now I'm like, bang, and I feel so much more efficient and just freer in a weird way going into the next day. Going, I know I haven't got to waste my morning doing this shit I could have quickly done yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, collaboration, huge.
Yeah.
Huge in this sort of new breed of agency and world, because supporting each other, having your networks in a collaborative sense is so powerful. For example, I got approached with a really big development of very high-end luxury properties, which wouldn't really align with my brand. But I had somebody reached out to me who works in a very different way, but she has a very she's actually first and foremost an influencer who's moved into property. And I was like, she could work with this so well. And just by her putting herself out there to me, I'm now able to sort of hand work to her. And it will go back the other way. Collaboration is absolutely key in what we do.
Kate, thank you.
No worries.